Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, the start of another Kit Quest career mode. This one of the things going to take longer, so I think it's going to be separate videos. But we'll see, either way. We're here at the kind of intro point, so I'll go over team, which you kind of already see, team, player, kit, and look at the board, objectives, tactics, and all that good stuff. So as you see, you're here, and I just can't really tell necessarily. I don't know, I guess you can by the date, but we are in FIFA 22. And we are playing as Brighton in the Premier League. So that probably gives you a pretty strong hint as to who the player is, but let's kind of go into the squad and pull them up. There we go, past, there we go. Yeah, so player is Yves Bissouma, obviously part of the 2025 Europa League winning squad, and at the time when we were recording is still a Tottenham player. So even if he wasn't, like, so just be around, I said that, 'cause, like, obviously if you move somewhere in January, like I won't do it till the end after the season anyways, but yeah. So obviously he hasn't really won, besides the Europa League, hasn't really won anything like an individual or team level really in his career, and because Mali's like never been in a FIFA game because I guess whatever licensing issues and stuff. Let's go with his club career to kind of get kits for him until he moves on from Spurs. So we're going back to Brighton. So we're going to the most recent season just because it's obviously was submitted at his peak, and then Spurs bought him following the season. And just because Brighton kits are hard to find, so the more recent the season, probably easier it will be to find. And the kit is the one you're seeing him wearing here, the home kit. Scored, I think, 2 goals this season for Brighton. Won the league, won the cup, and has won the league. It was an away match, but they were wearing the home kits in it against, I think it was Wolves. So, yeah, should be cool. Should be fun. I see he played for a club in Mali. Let me look up the name. Real Bamako, but there's not really that many ex-players from there. As far as I could tell, they're like, high-tier footballers. Probably not that many overlap there. But the other teams obviously is going to be Lille. He's spent time in Lille in France, and then at Spurs. So that's going to be the 2 areas we're going to be pulling players from here to try and strengthen the Brighton squad, which is going to be interesting because they kind of range a specific kind of model and stuff. But as you see, they have like a lot of players, and a lot of them are very young and inexperienced, and are going to have to rely on them a lot this season, I think. But yeah, so that's the player, the kit, and the team. For the tactics, that will be, I'll slide a link to the video with them in the description. But this is like the actual lineup here is going to end up probably being like in terms of who's playing. Stuff is going to be very different, I think, kind of come actual start of the season, because a lot of the more veteran players I've put on the transfer list because they only have like a year or 2 left in their deals. So I'm going to try and basically cash in on them, kind of build like a war chest for future seasons. While I kind of stay afloat, obviously, because the season where they put a Brighton finish. Here we go. Yeah, they finished 9th in the league, and like got bounced very early in the cup, so only playing 1 game a season for most of the year. So kind of just relying on yeah, basically like me matching the results of playing a lot of the matches and stuff to stay up and all that good stuff. So we should obviously stay up, and then kind of move on from there, because obviously the goal here is going to be win a trophy of any kind. Because Brighton haven't really won anything, I think, since like a community big, at least since like a community shield back in like the early 1900s. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think, at least to see how this goes. Because it seems like I'm always like, oh, we're never going to win a trophy. Then we end up winning a trophy the first season. But I have a feeling it's because we're going to be like relying on a lot of young, inexperienced players in the squad here. Because most of these people, like I'll tell you guys now, Welbeck, Trossard, McAllister, all on the transfer list. I think Dunk is staying. I think Veltman's on the transfer list though. Lamptey will be, I think, here. See, actually, let's see, how does he fit in? Because he is a right midfielder or wing back, kind of. Pascal Gross put in, I guess, Webster for now. But yeah, so all these guys are going to be sold. We're going to be relying a lot on these like low overall youngsters. Like here, you see Evan Ferguson. All these other kind of guys. I don't know. I used to stand here. I suppose actually was pull in. See how he fills in. -1, I think, when he's not good. Like when he's like his morale is up, he should be fine. in the DM role, but yeah, the link to the video with these tactics can be in the description. Kind of see like the person whose video it is kind of explain a lot of the intricacies and stuff, but should be fun playing a three at the back kind of fun system, I think, because I've had a lot of fun playing these three at the back systems in some of our more recent kick quests, so should be interesting and fun. But in terms of, I guess, let's look at our emails and stuff and look at the board goals and that kind of stuff. Preseason should be fun playing like Gladbach, Thor, and Hoffenheim, should be easy enough. Transfer market, we'll get into that in a second. We look at the board stuff. The academy, I guess let's peep what do we got. Interesting development plan. Gonna change you to a left midfielder. Like so. Change you to just a regular midfielder. Change you to a striker. And then see what's faster. 5 weeks, 2 weeks, I'll change you to striker as well. I'll go to that in a second. Scouting stuff doesn't really matter. But yeah, so the board objectives done that were for that high. Honestly, because this is kind of club mostly about staying up and making money on selling kind of players. So youth development, that one I'm not going to do. Brand exposure side, one crucial first team player assigned to a midfielder position. So not really an area we really need players this season. Area we kind of mostly need players striker. But I think I'll probably be able to find some players who like have their primary position as midfielder, but striker as a secondary position, and kind of assign one of them. Financial, reduce player wages. That should be easy enough because we're going to be selling a bunch of guys. Finish mid-table. I don't really know what that defines it as. We finished 9th. They finished 9th. We should finish 9th or higher, I would think. So we should be fine there. FA Cup round of 16. I think it's the 5th round. I feel like that's the 5th round. Let's go look at 21, 22 FA Cup. 4th round. Yeah, 4th round's right. Yeah, so like we might have some trouble making it to reaching that objective in the continental stuff. We're not in Europe, so that's not going to really matter at all. But yeah, so that's kind of it, I think, for this potential intro video and or first part of a larger video. I was thinking it might be first part of a larger video because I don't like that format because like these individual videos I'd bring really small, so kind of just condensing it all into one somewhat longer video. But usually don't end up being that long anyway. It kind of makes things easier and kind of doesn't clog. You got like a subscription fee with a bunch of small videos. Instead, you kind of just have this one bigger video and kind of go through it at your own pace and whatnot. So yeah, but next kind of thing will be the 21-22 season recap. We're gonna see if we can make a surprise runner win the cups or something, or if not, we're just kind of build, bring in that one crucial player, sell some players off, and then kind of go into next season and see how things go from there. But yeah, so I said thank you. Hopefully you enjoy either this intro video or this one larger video. I think it's gonna be one larger video. So I guess I'll probably stop talking in a couple seconds, and then 21-22 season recap will be here. Okay, so here we are at the end of the 21-22 season. So let's get into. Oh, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Okay. So we did. So as in the Premier League, we finished second, 2 points behind Manchester City. So we were in the title race for most of the season somehow. Then basically, I think we lost both our matches against City. Let's see. In the league, or the matches against City in the league. Yeah, we lost both of them. So that's kind of the difference. They finished first, we finished second. Obviously way better than I thought, but it's probably going to be tough to build upon next season, but we'll have to see. Actually, let's go back, I guess. Let's see who got. Yeah, so we finished second, so Champions League. Liverpool and Arsenal. Chelsea finished Europa League. Relegation was Burnley, Norwich, and Southampton. In terms of the Carabao Cup. Oh, this is the FA Cup. Okay. We start off in round 3 against Man City. Beat them 1-0. And round 4, we got Barnsley. Simulated that one, won 5-0. Round 5, which is like the round of 16, we got Birmingham. We won that match 4-1. Round 6, which is the quarterfinals, we got Fulham. Won that one 5-0. And the semifinals, we got a match against Liverpool and lost 2-3, which sucks because you're right one step away from the final, but not much you could do, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Carabao Cup, I think we started all the way in like round 2. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why it doesn't say there's a score. It says DPD. Very interesting. But yeah, so we drew 2-2 with Huddersfield, and then went to Pens and beat them 3-2 on Pens, and then second round the Carabao Cup. Third round, got a matchup against Manchester City. It's probably our best match of the season. Beat City 4-0 at the Etihad. Pretty solid stuff. Round 4, we got Peterborough. Won that match 5-0. Yves Bissouma scored the second goal of that match. And the quarterfinals, I got a matchup against Wolves. I don't know why there's like no score, but we finished 0-0. And we lost on Pens 3-4 because the penalty system in this game sucks. Like it's just confusing. I don't really like it. Like the modern version much better. But so we lost on Pens 3-4. So that's kind of all the competitions we were in. So we made it to the quarters of the Carabao, semis of the FA Cup, and then finished second in the league. So we're pretty much very like as close as you can get to winning a trophy without winning a trophy. Which sucks, but it means we're going to have to obviously do another season. So we'll have to kind of see how we can get on next season. I guess we could look at Europe, even though we weren't in it. We can look at who won the European stuff. Scroll down. So the Super Cup, Villarreal beat Chelsea. Champions League, Bayern beat Barcelona. Europa League, West Ham beat Ajax. And the Conference League, Valencia beat Feyenoord. So in terms of, I guess next thing would be what objectives, I guess, would be next thing to kind of check. So youth development, we're not going to do that one, so we skipped it. Brand exposure, so one crucial first team player assigned to a midfield position. We'll get into that when we do the transfer business. Financial was to reduce player wages. Easy enough to do that. Domestic success, finished mid-table. Finished second, so you completed that one. The FA Cup reached round of 16, reached the semis, so you did that one as well. The Continental, obviously nothing there because we weren't in Europe. So then in terms of transfer business, let's go here. My club, sort it probably by date. Oop, there we go. Yeah, so transfers out, we had a lot of those. We had 9, I think. So yeah, Joel Veltman, 10.9 mil to Wolfsburg. One transfer in. Kind of was able to monkey around with the close. It said like crucial player assigned to midfield position. So we brought Tim Way in from Lille for 9.4 mil. Because like his positions, like his primary position is right mid, but he also can do left mid and striker. So I played him as a striker primarily, but because his like primary position said it's like right mid accounted for the objective. Then we sold Adam Lallana to this club for 3.75. Tudor Baluta to Sevilla for 3.15. Trossard to Inter for 20.5. Danny Welbeck to Norwich for 5.4. Shane Duffy to Granada for 4.1. Neil Mopé to Villarreal for 19. Callister to Freiburg for 22. So we were able to kind of get our best players not in like the teams in the Premier League, which was good. Steele to Midtjylland for 510,000. And some loans for our youngsters. So I guess the last kind of bit, I think, is what player stats pretty much. So let's look at those quick. So yes, Robert Sanchez, really good for us. Was fan of the match more times than I would like, but helped us out. Played pretty much every match except for like I think one the Carabao, or our backup played here. And center backs, no real offense from them, but not really surprising. Certain half of them were like teenagers. Left mid / left wing back, Marc Cucurella is pretty good for us. 6 goals, 9 assists in all competitions. Pascal Gross, 7 goals, 12 assists, is another solid one. And Wepu was our attacking at number 10, 13 goals, 9 assists, pretty solid. Yves Bissouma, Obviously the Kit Quest player. 3 goals, 5 assists in all comps, 18 clean sheets. So pretty solid stuff there. 2 goals, 4 in the Prem, which is nice. Yakamoto, 4 goals, 2 assists. This chap here I played as a striker. These two guys play as backup strikers because we don't really have anyone. All the other strikers are out on loan. So they kind of had bit part roles, but did pretty decent in their limited appearances. So I marched back up. Left mid, dash right with wing back. Sarmiento, pretty solid as backup. Drake Lamptey, 4 goals, 9 assists. Then you see here Tim Way is absolutely elite. 28 goals, 18 assists in all competitions. He was basically like the focal point of our attacks. He was like the only one who was like any decent in terms of overall. In terms of kind of where he finished in various stuff. So he finished tied for third in the Golden Boot with 17 goals. And he had the most assists in the league with 14. Pascal Gross finished second in assists with 11. Robert Sanchez won the Gold Glove, most clean sheets. And then Evan Ferguson, who was like the second striker. We ever played a front two, so he's like the left striker in the front two. 10th in the Golden Boot with 14 goals. And then he was 9th in assists with 9. So pretty good season from him, growing 7 overall, but then probably going to have to bring in another striker next season because we shouldn't really be playing a 17-year-old as our starting striker in the league. Especially so now we're going to be Champions League next year. But yeah, so that's kind of it for this season's stuff. But because we are going to move on to the next season, I figured might as well kind of move on to the next season, check out the objectives and stuff for the board before we kind of wrap up. Because I don't think we have any players that were like on loan that are leaving, so it's just going to be players coming back from loan and stuff. So it's just national duty for the World Cup, I think. But it's like there's no way our national teams in the game, so it's basically no point in looking at it. There we go. Yeah, so we're gonna like watch all our players. Oh, please don't tell me it froze. Oh, there we go. Geez, I think it's just like loading forever because there was like a bajillion of these. But might as well just delete all these because all the players. Yeah, so we had like a bunch of players on loan, so it's gonna make things more interesting with our squad for next season, so we can like include them or not include them. Kind of get rid of all these emails, so we don't need them anymore. Alright, so let's head into end the season. So here we go, the season. They said they should be delayed with our performance to finish second in the league as Brighton, so they're happy for us to continue, so that's good. So let's check out what the objectives are for this next season. So I'm just gonna pull up the thing on my spreadsheet. Just 22, 23 season. I don't know why it takes so long to load, but let's see. My goodness, this really takes long. Longer than, oh, is that it? There we go. Preseason tournament. We wouldn't play the one that's like worth the more money. We'll do that one. But yes, let's go. Just to wrap up here, let's check out the board goals. So the board's like things haven't really changed. So let's peep. Youth development, again, we're skipping. Rand exposure. They want what? Ooh, that's gonna be hard. A 5 batch home win streak. 5 W, and then one young player. I think we established in the Romero one, which I looked that up, right? I had written it down somewhere. Yeah, we'll figure it out. The young side, one young player, we'll figure that out. Figure it out. Financial, salary growth, under 10%. That shouldn't be too hard either. For only signing like one player, really. Premier League, they want us to finish, is that 5th, I guess? And then FA Cup, round of 16. Then Champions League reach the group stage. Shouldn't we be in the group stage? I don't really understand why that's a thing, but okay. Well, it just means like they don't really care how we do, I guess. I don't know. And then in the league that they want us to finish. Europa League, which is 5th, I think. So that should be interesting. I guess let's take a peek. So I don't really know who we're going to sign for the young player objective. We'll have to look into it. But yes, I think this is it. So the next thing will be the 22-23 season recap. Okay, so here we are at the end of the 22-23 campaign. So we're just going to go through how we did in various competitions, kind of transfers, board goals, all that good stuff. So start with competitions. You can see on that little bottom screen there, we finished 4th in the league, so down from 2nd, but still in the Champions League spot, so still pretty solid. With 22 wins, 5 draws, 11 losses for 71 points. So we're 5 points clear of Spurs in 5th, which is pretty good. Obviously not as good as we were last year. A lot more losses, I think. But finishing top 4 with Brighton, pretty impressive still, I would say. Look at the other competitions. Here we go. So FA Cup, you kind of got a spoiler there, but let's go, I think, to round 3, I think is where we start. I feel like I missed this. I'm just blind. Let me just scroll up my sheet. Yeah, looking for the hat. There we go. Okay, so yes, round 3 we got Luton. Won 4-0. The braces from Connolly and Sema. Round 4 we got Swansea, so another kind of lower league club, so pretty solid for us. Another 4-0 win with goals from Kozlowski, brace from Sema, and a goal from Mitoma. Pretty solid stuff there. Round 5, another solid draw. We got Cardiff. Beat them 4-0 as well. Brace from Sema and Undav. Round 6 session, the quarterfinals. We got Liverpool. And we got good RNG. Got play on the randomizer. We'll beat them 3-1 with goals from Weah, Undav, and Sema. I'm pretty sure, is that the match? No, it's not. Okay. Semifinals, we got another solid draw. Burton Albion. Beat them 4-0. Goals from Sema, Moran, Brace, and goal from March. And as you saw, I got to the final FA Cup and lost to Wolves 2-1. Goal from Connolly. So I got in draw for that one. They had scored early. I was able to tie it up early, and they scored with like 5 minutes to go, and I couldn't equalize in time, obviously. So it was unfortunate, but as you will see in a second, we did capture some silverware. So this is a successful kit quest career mode, which is pretty hyped. Get a Brighton kit, because I do like their badge with the seagull on it. It's pretty fun. So I'm pretty hyped for that. So kind of how to get there. So round 3, we got Millwall at home. Did the randomizer, got draw, so I slow simmed it. And we won 2-1. Goals from Abdallah Sema and Dennis Undav. Sema being man of the match. Round 4, we got Southampton away. Got draw again. Slow simmed it. We won 4-1 with a Undav hat trick and a goal from Mark Cucurella. Dennis Undav obviously man of the match with the hat trick. Quarterfinals, we got Newcastle away at St. James's Park. We got play for that one. Locked in, focused, beat them 4-1. Goal from Mo Kudus and another Undav hat trick. So he was kind of balling out in the Carabao. Semifinals, we got West Ham. First leg was at home. They won 2-0. We got a draw for that one. Slow simply won 2-0. Goal brace from Dennis Undav. So again, he was really on fire in this comp. And the second leg was away. We got play. 2 goals from Timothy Weah. So he was man of the match in that one. So Undav smash and brace each in each leg to take us to the final against Man City. And at Wembley, kind of got really lucky with the RNG here because obviously like the last 5 record against Man City was 4 losses and 1 win. So we're very likely going to more like 80% chance of getting kind of for me to quick sim the match basically, and we would have probably lost. But we got that 20% chance, got play, and locked in, and beat them 3-0 to Timothy Weah brace and a goal from Mark Cucurella to finish them off. kind of got lucky. Got like a poor Ederson. I don't know if it was a goal kick or I think it was a clearance or like a pass out that they were playing out the back, and I was able to pressure. I think it was Ake, whoever, who like received the pass, kind of stole the ball and then went in and scored to open the scoring. And I think it was like late in the first half or late in the second half, and that kind of gave us the platform to go on and win. So pretty solid stuff there. So we got our trophy. So you'll see that at the end, the kind of trophy celebration with Biss lifting the trophy, king of the vibes, and then kind of the highlights from the match as well. So you'll see the two Tim Weah goals and the goal from Cucurella to finish it off. That's preseason. Super Cup. West Ham beat Bayern, which is a surprise there. Champions League, PSG beat City. So obviously we were in the Champions League, so let's kind of check out how we did. So yeah, we topped our group with 5 wins and a draw, which is pretty solid stuff. Because the thing is, because Brighton obviously has only been like in the Europa League, never been in the Champions League before. Now so that was after the 21-22 campaign. So most of these teams they had never played before. So just did 2 play, 2 draw, 2 sim, and kind of got lucky with the luck of the draw for most of them. I made it top of the group. Round of 16, we got AC Milan. Again, kind of the same situation. So the first leg landed on play. Beat them 3-1 with goals from Weah, Binks, and Matoma, with Tim Weah being man of the match. Second leg was at home. I got a draw, so I slow simmed it. We took a 1-0 lead with Dennis Undav and never let it up. So we finished 4-1 in aggregate. And then quarterfinals, semifinals quarterfinals got Liverpool, so I was able to actually use the last 5, which wasn't very good. So first leg, we got a draw, and I was able to they scored first, I was able to equalize with March and went 1-1 into the second leg at home, where we got sim, so I quick sim the match, fully expecting us to lose, but we somehow won. Goals from Undav, Kudus, and Binks. So Binks was kind of clutch in the Champions League run here with the big goal in the match against Milan, and then the winning goal in this tie against Liverpool. This sent us into the semifinals. And we got matchup against City, where again we didn't have like I said, a 1-5 chance of being able to play any of the matches. I'm pretty sure I got quick sim for both. First leg we lost 1-2 with a goal from Connolly, and then second leg we lost 2-3 with goals from Undav and Connolly, so we lost 5-3 in aggregate, which sucks. We made it all the way to the semifinals, but as we had already won the Carabao, it was kind of like pretty dope that we made it to the semifinals in the first place. We already have our silverware, so I wasn't too fussed about it, but it would have been cool to win the Champions League as Brighton. Europa League, Chelsea beat West Ham, and Conference League, Villarreal beat Strasbourg. So that's various competitions. Trying to think. So I guess next we'll do board goals, I guess would be the next thing to check out. So youth development, didn't do that one. Brand exposure, so got a streak of 5 wins. So I guess we were able to do that. At some point we got a 6-match home win streak, which is pretty good. Sign 1 young player, we'll get into in the transfer business. Financial, keeps player salary growth under 10%. We got it at 0, so I guess if we made sim to continue to the end of the season, board review thing, we should get that one complete. Domestic success, they want us to finish in 5th for Europa League, but we did one better and finished top 4. In FA Cup, they wanted to reach round 16. As you saw, we made it to the final and lost to Wolves. The Continental, they wanted us to basically just have fun, see what happens, and we made it all the way to the semifinals. So that's why our rating's at 92. In terms of transfer business, my club. Oh, we gotta go this way. Oop, there we go. Yeah, so I sold, let me pull up my spreadsheet so I get the names and all the clubs right. Yeah, so Steven Ozada to VfL Bochum in Bundesliga for 7.3. Sent Kadra on loan to West Ham. Pascal Gross to Everton for 12.6. John Paul Van Hecke to Sassuolo in Italy for 5.5. Jeremy Sarmiento on loan to Watford. Leonard on loan to Udi Ibiza. And then brought in Mo Kudus as our kind of 1 young player signing for 39.5 mil from Monaco. I originally wanted to bring in Amadou Onana to so I could basically either bring in a 10 or one of the 8s and a double pivot. And I wanted to bring in Amadou Onana from Lille, but because it's when the objectives were kind of glitched and you had to sign the player to a crucial role for it to check off as complete. and like he wouldn't accept a crucial role. Like I tried offering it to him like 5 times, he wouldn't accept it. So I was like, all right, well, to pivot to someone else, pivot to Kudus, and he would took this crucial role because he was already at a 79 overall. So I mean, balled out for us, so it kind of worked out in the end. But yeah, he was our kind of one signing. Then Furlong went on loan. Ferguson went on loan to Anderlecht. Sold Matt Clark to Bologna in Italy for 4.2. Florin Andoni to Schalke in Germany for 1.6. Roberts on loan. McMullen on loan. Turns on loan to Coventry. McGill, we sold him to Preston for 195k. Emerson on loan. More. Oh, I guess I didn't include it here, which is interesting. But for the first time ever, one of these kick quests, we were actually able to do a player swap deal. We got offered a deal from Bologna for Leo Ostegard. It was 1.9 mil plus Lewis Binks. And Lewis Binks was a Tottenham Academy graduate. Played like spent his youth career in Tottenham before kind of moving on. Elsewhere, never made a senior appearance, but because he was a Tottenham youth academy player, it's like, all right, he counts as like kind of Tottenham for like the kind of transfer restrictions. So I brought him in. And I scored a couple of crucial goals in their Champions League run, which is pretty dope. So pretty cool that we were actually able to do a player plus cash deal for the first time ever. So hopefully we can kind of do more of those in the future because that was kind of fun doing that. But then there's a couple extra loans after the window for next season just in case we hadn't won a trophy. And yeah, so pretty solid stuff on the transfer front. So I guess to wrap up is kind of looking at the stats from the squad. So we look at stats. Robert Sanchez, 14 clean sheets in total. 9 of those were in the league, which I think was good. Let me pull up the standing. That's the wrong season. That was last year. This is this season. Okay. Yeah, so he finished third in the Golden Glove race with 9. First was Mendy from Chelsea with 15. And kind of our center backs here, doing pretty solid. Cucurella and Matoma doing pretty solid as our wing backs. Motor, Caicedo, Bissouma, 1 goal, 7 assists for Biss. All 7 assists coming in the league. And then 1 goal in the Champions League. I forget which match that was. But pretty solid stuff, I'd say, from more of a defensive midfielder playing as an 8. And Wepu moved him into the 8 instead, so that's why his like numbers aren't as good as last year. Kind of our 10. And Moran kind of has to step in because in one of our matches in the league, I think, let me peep the spreadsheet. Yeah, in our match day 30 against Leeds, we won 2-0 with home a brace, but Timway tore his calf and then was out for the rest of the season after that. So I put Moran in, I think, for the cup semi-final, a couple other matches. When we were kind of rotating because I didn't have enough strikers, couldn't find a loan. He was stuck around the whole season. Then Mokudis was balling out pretty well. March and Lamptey had solid seasons. And then our striker Sima balled out. 15 goals, was good for 9th in the league, but like kind of some of them were tied, but just like how it ended up at 9th. 15 goals in 30 games, which was pretty good. And then he also finished 8th. It's tied for what? Yeah, 2nd in the league with assists with 9, which is pretty good. Undav finished 5th in the league in goals with 18, which is pretty good. And then he also he didn't finish high in the assists because he had 7. Him and Bissouma were kind of like outside the top 10, but pretty close. Tim Way, decent season, but the injury kind of hampered him doing a lot of rotations. We were in a lot of the cups and stuff, trying to put stronger squads in there. Then Connolly, he finished outside the top 10 goals, but he finished kind of tied with Undav with 9 assists, which is pretty good. I'm not Undav, with Simba, which is pretty solid, and that's kind of it in terms of the squad and stuff. So let me just pull up Biss again so we could check out the Vibes King from after our Europa League win. But yeah, this was fun. Took 2 seasons. I want to make a couple of transfers in, kind of spice up the Brighton squad a little bit, and kind of had a lot of fun with this one. Kind of being a bit more of an underdog and kind of doing well in the cups and the leagues and stuff. Kind of making surprise runs. Kind of playing a lot of young players, like low overalls. We've had some more losses than I'm used to, but ended up working out in the end. We got the Carabao Cup. So that's it for this kind of, I think, kind of kick series in an episode, basically, because it's going to merge down to one episode. So as I stop talking, it'll be the kind of trophy celebration after the Cup final and the highlights from that match. But what's next on the channel? Not sure, but I had to guess it'd probably be another jersey quest. But Yeah, so thank you for checking this kind of episode kind of series out. Hopefully you enjoy whatever is next on the channel.
A story of one side celebrating and the other distraught. Memories are being made.
Well, just look at those scenes down there, Derek. What a contrast in emotions. Brilliant for the winners, despair for the losers. But overall, the right team won today.
Yeah, you can see what it means to this tight-knit team. Real solidarity.
Well, this is special for everybody at the club. What a great moment for any young player. And this is what you dream about when you start playing football. When you're playing in the playground, you want to win a cup. Brilliant moment.
It's a special moment in the career of any footballer. And now for the trophy lift itself. The cup winners.
Well, you can just see what it means to those players and the manager. That's fantastic stuff.
There's always the element of chance in a cup competition. But my goodness, they've taken the rough with the smooth. And now they savour the moment. Full marks to the entire team. And now they get the chance to exhale and enjoy.
They've been brilliant in this competition, and so have the fans. They've really got behind their team. They've played a big part in this win. Just look at those faces in the crowd. Great stuff.
Yeah, really a match made in heaven between players and fans. And these celebrations are going to continue for quite some time. And now the players get to relax a bit and enjoy having the pictures taken.
Well, these photos will be cherished for years to come, won't they? Certainly ones to show the grandchildren.
Well, real quality all around. How about that free kick? And how about the save? And how well the keeper did.
Well, that's just exceptional. He reacted so quickly there.
And another corner, can they take advantage? Well, the keeper performing brilliantly.
Well, that's just incredible. He reacted so quickly there.
In with a chance. Well, in some style, Ederson prevents a goal. Sterling. Well, it went sailing over the crossbar. Not a moment he'll want to remember. Can he put them in front? Oh no, he's missed the opportunity. And they remain level.
Well, he just lacked composure there, didn't he? They should be ahead now.
Oh, a perfectly timed pass. Oh, marvellous goalkeeping.
Well, it's a top-class save from a top-class goalkeeper. That's absolutely brilliant.
He's in here. Oh, yes! First to score in this final. And it could be highly significant. Dangerous looking through ball. And now can he keep calm? Still a chance.